Okay.
A red plaid raincoat, a red plaid raincoat, and a matching umbrella. I do not remember being excited about anything I had to wear in grammar school, but I was pleased with the red plaid raincoat and the bright red umbrella my mother gave me for my 8th birthday. My brother and I trekked a mile to school and a mile home every day, rain or shine, for 7 years. Lusted grade school boasted a pot-belly stove to heat the 2 rooms, a cloak closet on either side of the entrance, and a small cafeteria in the basement. After walking home from school, it was often my responsibility to change my clothes and head over to the 40 to bring the cows home. The 40 was the 40-acre parcel of land that consisted of a natural underground spring that my father had piped into the watering trough. Lots of pasture land that viewed the Sandy River Valley, berry cabins, several acres of strawberries which ran along beside the rows of raspberries. Since it was raining, I wore my red plaid raincoat and carried my red umbrella. Carpenter Lane, the road that ran by our house, ended about a quarter mile east of our home, becoming at that point a dirt road. I put on boots as I had to trudge through mud at the bottom of the hill, where I think my father must have gotten stuck with the tractor, for there were deep wheel furrows filled with water. I proceeded on up the hill to the wide gate that was the entrance to the 40, but rather than open the gate, I always climbed over the sty, the steps that were built for quick access to the pasture. I started to round up the cows and herd them toward the trail for home when I noticed a young steer eyeing me. Then suddenly he lowered his head and charged. Startled, I threw my red umbrella as hard as I could toward him, ran for the barbed wire fence, fell on the ground, and quickly rolled under it. Wet and shaken, I stood up to observe the steer nosing my umbrella and the handle flopping to and fro as he nudged it about. I started home in tears, determined that I would never again have to go after those cows. When I told my father about being chased by that steer, he offered to fetch the cows home himself. The good news was that he found my red umbrella intact and brought it safely home to me. However, my days of driving the cows home were far from being over.
I was going to say, my dad wouldn't have offered that.
Maybe it was because I was fairly young.
Where did that take place?
This was in Gresham. Might have been good to add that. In Gresham, Oregon, which is between Gresham and Sandy. It's out in the farm country on an 85-acre farm. My father had a dairy. I helped milk cows until he had to get milking machines, and then he sold the dairy.
Did you spend all of your growing up life in that one place?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I did.
I was wondering, because it was red, we always thought that the bulls were attracted by red color or something or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The toreador always have a red
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, the bull fights and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the red color that,
It could have attracted that young steer.
yes,
Sure.
uh-huh.